Alright guys, welcome back to the channel and to the garden. Today's video, we're just going to go over 3 types of yucca, which I believe are some of the sort of easiest for us to grow in the UK, sort of low maintenance, low fuss plants. So we'll go over those, but also I will also show you the yuccas in the garden that have gone into flower or started to put up their flower spikes so far. Just to start off here, you can just see this is one of our Yucca gloriosa. Now, this particular variety of yucca does have the kind of glaucous blue undersides. You can just see lovely kind of stiffer leaves. One thing to point out with yuccas, generally just be careful of the tops. These spikes can be very sharp. So if you are doing weeding and things around them, just maybe some eye protection or something. Just down here, as you can see, this one does have the startings of a trunk just coming up there. Now with the yucca, as you can also see underneath, for most varieties they have what are called the aerial roots, as well as the kind of root system in the ground. Now the aerial roots do help to kind of water the top of the plant as well. So if you do see those kind of straggly, stringy things coming off, that is some of your aerial roots coming out there. Now when I water my yucca, I actually do water sort of top down as well, so I do water the whole plant, not just the ground. As we pan over to this one here, this is going to be your Yucca Adam's Needle, another variety that is very hardy, easy to grow, and as you can just see here, we've got some lovely flower spikes coming up. Now, if you are new to yucca, these sorts of plants are evergreen. They're typically sort of from, I would say, sort of southwestern Americas. Now, there are quite a few different varieties that we can get in the UK, but I'm just going to kind of go over the more hardy ones for you. Now, when I say hardy, these are hardy down to around about the -15, -18 degrees C. The patch you see here is approximately sort of 40-ish years old and has taken sort of all of, you know, the cold that the UK has thrown at us over the years. I don't protect this plant at all. Never receives any sort of protection during the winter, and of course, with it being evergreen, gives us that nice kind of structure in the garden. Just as we come down here, and again, with the flower spikes here, you can just see these as mentioned. Now, what these do is they'll typically go up to around about 1.5 meters to nearly 2 meters. Now, when they do start to flower, it puts out like a bell-shaped kind of white creamy flower. And interestingly enough, these varieties of yucca are also edible. Just as we come down here to another patch, you can see, and this patch here, now this moves me on to my next point about yuccas in regard to propagation. Super easy to propagate these plants. With a lot of the patches you can see in my garden, I've simply taken cuttings from the mother plant you can just see here, and when I say cuttings, what I'll do is simply remove one of the heads. So if you have a look down here, you can just see inside, this is like an individual growing head, and you see we have lots of little heads all around here. This one's a little easier to see here, but what I've done, remove the head by simply pulling it out of the ground. Now, I didn't have a lot of roots on them. You can get roots with them as well when you do go to make a division, but I found it's not strictly necessary, as the ones I've planted and just stuck into the ground again have come up absolutely fine, and as you can see here, these ones are starting to flower now. Just as we come down here, you can see another one of the divisions. Again, this is one of our Yucca gloriosa. Now, another interesting sort of ability of these plants, again, is also drought tolerance. You know, in a lot of kind of, I guess, the environment they're originally from, they can go periods of time without sort of any water. But as we take a look at this one here, another thing to mention with these, as the plant goes into flower, the head that the flower has sort of come out of will die off and then sprout a new head, as you can see just down here underneath it. So just bear that in mind. If you do see your plant after flowering starting to look a bit sort of worse for wear, you should get sort of a pop, or however you want to call it, coming off the base there as well. But with that said, of course, one thing to do is once you do finish, and I didn't do it this year on these ones here, you can see, is to remove the flower stalk once it has finished flowering, and that can aid the plant to recovery as well. But you can just see now, got quite a large trunk on this one. Now, this was a rescue of the garden, and I assume this one to be approximately in the 40 to 50-year-old range, and you can see a huge flower spike starting to come up. Just as we come into here, you can see the sort of flower buds come off like that, and it kind of pushes out. These will kind of open up and spread out, kind of giving it a lovely set of flowers here. What I'll see if I can do is insert a picture of one in flower as well for you. And you can see there, lovely flowers on that, and always great to see those when they do come out in the garden. Interestingly here, we've got another yucca, again, same variety, and it is pushing its leaf right through the Tetrapanix leaf, which is somewhat unfortunate, but it hasn't done too much damage to the Tetrapanix yet. So again, I'm not hugely worried on that side. Now on to my last one, and there are many varieties. Certainly put some of the others down in the comments below, guys. Would be your yucca rostrata. So the ones we've gone over so far, your yucca rostrata, your yucca gloriosa, your yucca filamentosa, and of course another one to throw in there would be your linearfolia or linearis as well. Most of these guys are again hardy down to that -15°C, shouldn't require any protection in our UK climate, and again will remain evergreen all year round. So a lovely bit of structure in the garden. Down here, you can see this is one of our yucca jewels. Now, this one is not hardy, so it's a -2 hardiness. I do find with a lot of the colored varieties, so you had things like your yucca variegata in B&M recently, most of the colored varieties, in the most cases, will be a lot less hardy than your kind of standard green varieties. It's kind of the same thing with like cordylines and things like that as well. As you can see there, this one here, sorry, just before I walk away, you can see this one was undercover and protected for winter, even though it had the protection. The spear has pulled from the top, and you can just see it sprouting from the base now, which is promising considering it did take a -6°C. So it did go a lot lower than it is typically rated, but of course, you can see all the damage on these top leaves, and eventually we will lose this whole top head. So it's just whether it's going to keep going from there. Bit of an experiment, as you can see. Just as we come around here, just show you one of the other less hardy varieties that I grow in the garden. And that one here is your yucca puck. Again, down to about -2°C. This will be taking damage sort of much below that. I find with these sorts of varieties, you know, if you can protect them, move them to a greenhouse, perhaps keep them potted, may be the best way forward if you are looking to kind of keep these long term. But with that said, of course, really just a brief video today. You know, those are the 3 varieties with a couple added bonus ones on the end there. Are great for your you know, hardiness, again, as cold tolerant, but also when it comes to planting these, just to mention, you can just see some huge ones on here, big flowers there. When it comes to planting, you want to do it mostly into a kind of free draining soil, but I must say as well, at the same point, a lot of these that I've planted have gone straight into the dirt and soil have been absolutely fine. So I think they are a little bit more kind of easygoing than perhaps stated. I haven't had any troubles with the yuccas that I've planted. And as you can see here again, I think we've had some of the most flower spikes this year in the garden here. But with that said, guys, yeah, if there are any other varieties that have missed out or you'd like to mention, certainly put them in the comments below. Always interested to hear what stuff you are growing as well. Of course, if you haven't checked out the friends of the channel, certainly feel free to do so. They'll be left in the pinned comment below. As well as that, if you're not subscribed, of course, feel free to join our amazing community. And with that said, thanks for watching. See you on the next one.